Poor isn't a financial state, it's a set of habits. Well, watch this video to learn the top 5 habits that poor people have that keep them broke. But make sure you stay to the end, because I'm gonna talk about how to replace those habits with the ones that will actually make you rich. Because believe it or not, that difference is so small. It's very small. All right, so number 1, stop hanging out with poor people. Now, I'm not saying you just fire all your friends and your family. I'm not saying that at all. But the problem is that whoever you tend to hang around, you hear this all the time. People say the 5 people you spend the most time with are the people you become like, right? Well, if you're always thinking and talking like those poor people, you will be poor, right? And again, it's not about the amount of money you have. I've been in situations where I've probably been more poor than poor people. I've been over $1 million in debt and had no money to my name. I was basically $1 million more broke than the homeless guy on the street. Yet, still, you can have more powerful conversations that lead to more prosperity, and that's what got me out as well. So if you want to pull yourself out of the poor class, you gotta stop hanging out with poor people. You gotta stop thinking like poor people. You gotta stop talking like them. Hey, you can shoot the breeze with them, you can do whatever you want. But if you want to think different, I'm going to tell you the thing you can do best is get other people's words in your mind, right? To start thinking like rich people. And the best way to do that is you're here, you're on YouTube, right? You're on YouTube. This is a great way to do that. In fact, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. You can actually hear more of that from us where we talk about these things. And again, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else, but I can say this, is that the way I think is what allowed me to do the things that got me to be where I am today. You just need to do the same things as well. It's not about what you do, it's about how you think, and then you'll do it differently. Like I said, it's about those habits. So stop hanging out with poor people, start hanging out and getting those other people's voices in your head. Also, audiobooks is a great thing that's worked for me, or reading books is also a great way to do it. Find those people, find those mentors. Even if you can't be with them face to face, you can be with them through this, through YouTube, you can be through them with with books or anything else. Hang out with us that way. And number 2, this is a big one. There's a victim mentality, right? It feels like you have no control, right? It's just my lot in life. That's just the way my life is. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. All these kind of limiting types of mindsets that allows you to stay put, to stay broke. There's been so many cases, many people that have come out of poverty trying to help even their old neighbors get out of poverty in some of the biggest ghettos ever, and they're trying to get them out. But then those people say, no, that's just my lot in life. That's what I'm stuck with. This is just how we live. No, it's not. You can lift yourself up out of poverty, and we live in a great country. As much as the country has problems, especially in the United States, we've got a crap load of problems. We got a dumpster fire going on left and right, don't we? But despite all that, we still have the ability that no matter what stage you are in life, you're not limited to being in a certain class. You can lift yourself out of it. But if you keep telling yourself that you're broke, that you're gonna be that way forever, that you've been discriminated against and it's been forever, and trust me, I even had this mentality too. I was in a trailer park. I was white trash essentially, right? And even then, even when I was white trash, living in a trailer park, I still had that mentality of, oh, even if I'm white, it doesn't matter because I'm white and nobody wants to give me scholarships to go to a good school and I don't have enough money to pay for anything. And I have a freaking, minimum wage job making $4.75 an hour. So how can I afford even a good school? I thought all those things, guys. Anybody can have a victim mentality and it will keep you broke the rest of your life. If you want out of it, you gotta get yourself up and stop being the victim of a story, but being the hero. Nobody wants to watch a stupid movie or read a story about somebody who's the victim. That's called a freaking horror movie, right? It's a horror flick. Those are the people that die, they get killed, and nobody remembers their names. But we remember the heroes, don't we? Remember the people that overcame, that actually did something better with their life. You need to become the hero and stop whining and complaining about your life not being right. Okay, rant over, okay? But it's true. You gotta get out of that mentality. That is one of the worst habits. Get rid of that victim mentality. Stop talking about that you actually have control. Elevate yourself. Talk about possibilities, not limitations. 3, you hear people all the time talking about living within your means. Now, it's important to live within your means in the sense that you don't wanna spend more than you make, but here's one thing that's always missed. People, when they figure out they only make so much, they try to limit how much they spend based on that alone. Instead of focusing on what you're spending, focus on what you can make. Expand your means, increase your income, look for ways to create value. I've mentioned this in other videos before too. The number one way, if you wanna make more money, is to stop asking, how do I make more money? Stop even feeling entitled to more money, thinking I deserve a raise, like nobody appreciates me. Stop using that victim language, right? Change your language, change your thoughts. Instead, start asking even your boss or your manager, hey, what can I do to serve you? What can I do to add value to this company that would merit me a raise? What can I do to add more value? What can I do to solve some problems for you? What can I do to help you out? Ask those kind of questions and you'll realize that money will start to increase. Your income will increase. As a result, then you can increase the amount of money you could be spending or not spending and then saving and investing, right? So there's lots of ways to do that, but find ways to really live, not just live within your means, but expand your means, increase your income, increase your value to other people so that they pay you more money. All right, now guys, I would love to hear what you're doing as well. Like, what are some of the thoughts you have? Comment below. What are some of the victim mentality you've had, or whatever ways that you've actually been able to expand your means and increase your income? I know all of us would love to hear that, so put that in the comments below here. All right, the fourth one here. Most people don't focus on value, right? The way to get out of it. And I talked about focusing on value. Focus on that. So let me go deeper into this point here. So I had a friend named Brian. Now Brian was making 15 bucks an hour at his job. He was doing great. A good guy, and he was a hard worker, had a young family to support, but at 15 bucks an hour, you can't support much, can you? Now, he could have been a victim. He could have just said, you know what, that's just my life. It's not like I got a lot of great education. He had some training and stuff, but he had some real world experience, but he wasn't really someone that felt like he was able to make more. So I told him, listen, Brian, go to your boss and ask them, what can I do to add more value to the company or help this company out where I can actually earn a raise? Notice I use the words earn a raise, not just get a raise, right? How can you earn the raise? So he did. He asked them just that. And they said, Brian, you need to do these 3 things. If you do that, we'll give you the raise. He had them at their word. They were committed. So he went and he did it. And a couple months later, he has a meeting with them, says, I did everything you asked. Now what? And they said, well, promise is a promise. You get your raise. A few months later, he kept adding more value. He didn't just stop there. He kept having good habits. He kept trying to add value and serve them and do things for the company and really go above and beyond the call of duty. And as he did that, guess what happened? Boss goes by his office, stops, backpedals, says, wait a minute, Brian, how much are we paying you again? He tells him, we're gonna give you a raise. And then he starts to leave. He's like, but no more raises, we're done. Well, guess what? He wasn't done because pretty soon, about a year later, a promotion came up. They gave it to Brian. Why? Because they said, honestly, you know, you're the guy for the job. And so they said, we're gonna pay you 25 bucks an hour. Now he was at 15 bucks an hour, right? He got some raises, now he's at 25 bucks an hour. You know what Brian did? Brian said, that's not acceptable. He says, no. For the last year, guys, I've been over delivering, right? I've been working harder than you've asked. I've actually been doing more than what you've asked. I've not just done this minimum status quo to not get fired. I've gone above and beyond the call of duty here. They said, all right, Brian, what do you want? He's like, I want 28 bucks an hour. They said, all right, we can't afford to lose you, so you got it, 28 bucks an hour. He got the raise. Guys, in a year and a half, he nearly doubled his income. Doubled. And just so you know, nowadays, now it's been over a decade later, he's making way more than that, okay? That's the power of this. That's why you gotta focus on that. Is you gotta really get in that place of delivering value. That is the way to solve anything, and it's eternal. It doesn't matter if the markets are up or down. It doesn't matter the economy. You can't use the economy as excuse. You can't be a victim to the economy. You can't be a victim of all this outside stuff. Wars and gas prices, doesn't matter. It always comes back to how do you create more value for the people around you, for the people you're serving. And if you're a business owner, if you haven't figured this out, this is like your #1 goal to be able to help you make millions of dollars just from this free video, right? By the way, if you like this video, like and subscribe, right? Please send some love, share this with somebody else. Love to be able to have you do that. All right, now the 5th point. Everybody talks about, you just gotta be paycheck to paycheck, right? And so people get in this victim mentality. They just think, I can't really save anything. And if they save, they're usually saving in bad places. Well, I'm just gonna say this, start saving, right? Start saving. It can be in a simple bank account, but start. It could be $5 a week. $5 a month, I don't care. Start, go to your bank online and just do those automatic transfers. Just automatically transfer that money over. Just keep moving over without you even seeing it. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to click it every, maybe it's the 15th every month, they do and transfer $5. It could be 20 bucks, 100 bucks, I don't care. Whatever it is, start small. Because most of the time people that stay broke believe that they can't save. And this is called a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe something enough, guess what? It becomes that way. It's like people that are at restaurants. If they're a server at a restaurant, if they say, oh, that's a college kid, or oh, that's that kind of business person. I've seen those people, they never tip well, or those kind of people never tip well. Well, what ends up happening? You go to that person, you give them crappy service, and then they don't tip you well, and you say, see, I told you, these people tip horribly. They're horrible tippers. The truth is, you created a self-fulfilling prophecy because you acted out of that belief. So the belief is, you can say, it doesn't matter how much money I'm making, start saving. And I know, remember I was over $1 million in debt. I was flat broke. I know what it's like. I had to start saving, even if it was $1. And trust me, even the dollar was hard. Save it and then focus on this. Watch it build up over time. It may be a little bit, but focus on it growing. Whatever you focus on, whatever you put your attention towards expands and grows. But whatever you ignore will leave you. So start focusing on that number growing. And what you'll see is you'll start getting momentum where it'll be easier and easier to save more and more money. And guess what? You lift yourself out of poverty. You lift yourself out of your current life circumstances. And then you can start doing the things we teach about in these other videos, which is like actually how to create passive income and become work optional, where you work because you want to, not because you have to. And then all your friends and your family say, how'd you do it? You're like, I watched this video from Chris Miles. It was awesome. That's how I did it. It changed my life. That's how you're gonna start doing it, guys. By the way, if you think this video is great, check out this next one, which we're talking about is just passive income, how to make $5,000 of passive income a month. Check it out.